What's going on, everybody? This is Jay, and you're tuning in to Will's VG Addiction. It's another edition of my Friday night pickups, and one change I want to mention before I get into all the stuff that I'm going to show you. I'm going to change the name of these videos to Friday Night Dig-Ups, kind of as a tribute to some of my local buddies. We have a closed Facebook group, and we share our pickups with each other all the time. We call them Dig-Ups, mainly because collecting has kind of become a dick measuring contest, so it's just a silly term we use. But again, as kind of a nod to them, that's what I'm going to start calling these. So I'm sorry if you get offended by that. Anyway, let me go ahead and get into what I got. It's actually a lot more stuff than it's always more stuff than I thought it was at the end of the week when I actually tally everything up. But start out with some things I got from my main man Chris at CP Game Collection here on YouTube. He's getting rid of a lot of his extra crap, and he had some broken systems that he didn't want in some boxes and a couple other things. So I'll go ahead and show you that stuff. So the first thing that I got a stack of non-working systems. You got 4 NES's and a Super Nintendo's. I haven't tested any of these yet. I was told that there are issues with all of them. This Super Nintendo is pretty beat to hell, but I'm pretty sure I can probably get at least half of the stuff working. And if I can't get all of it working, I can at least use them for parts. So when he came to drop those things off, he brought some things that I didn't expect, and for whatever reason, I just couldn't say no to it.
Depression, lack of social interaction, and the inability to discard items are signs of a hoarding addiction.
He gave me a really good price on all this stuff, so even if I decide to move some of it, I'll make my money back and then some. So first thing is the Super Nintendo box, and it's got the foam insert in there. It's pretty rough, but it is a box that I do not have. It's the Kmart exclusive, what does it say, Super Game Boy accessory box, blah blah blah. So pretty neat. Again, it's pretty beat up, but I'll definitely be keeping that one. And then there's this Super Nintendo Super Set with Super Mario World, and that has the foam insert in it as well. This one is pretty beat, and I think I have 2 of these already. So I will probably pair that with an extra Super Nintendo I have laying around, and hopefully give somebody else who's looking for a box NES a pretty good deal on it. And then I also got an action set box with the orange zapper gun. I have 2 of these already. Again, same kind of deal. There's no foam in here, but plan on pairing this with some extras that I have laying around and hopefully give another collector a pretty good deal on a boxed set. Something that I didn't expect him to bring at all, because I had asked him about this in the past, and he didn't seem like he wanted to sell it, but got a boxed Atari 5200. This is the 2-controller port version, and I have one of these already, but it's not in the greatest of condition. And this thing is like brand new on the inside. One of the controllers is a little shot, which is kind of to be expected, but I mean, this thing, excuse the clutter in here, but it's got manuals and paperwork and whatnot in here. The games have overlays. It came with Super Breakout and Pac-Man, and this thing was still in the plastic. I mean, I took it out and it still smelled new. It was money I wasn't looking to spend, but he gave me such a great deal on it that I couldn't say no to it. And for the price that I paid for that, I can sell my unboxed one and still give somebody a pretty good deal on it. So I will definitely be doing that to recoup my money and keep the box one. Thank you, Chris. As far as online stuff, I only bought a few things this week. It's probably going to be the last of the online stuff for a long time. I got a box for King of the Monsters for the Super Nintendo. It's the box only, and this will definitely be the last of the TurboGrafx stuff that I get for a while as far as hardware is concerned. But I got another controller. I think I got this one for 15 bucks. And then I got another system, and I think this one was 40, just the console only, and it did come with the back cover, but I already put that on another one. This one, the RF port doesn't work, but it doesn't really matter anyway. I usually expect that, and I'm buying this just to do an AV mod on it anyway. So I've talked about that for like the last 2 or 3 videos, so not the most exciting thing in the world. So the first sale that I came up on going out last Saturday was a guy who is a habitual weekend seller. He's always out, always selling tons of crap. I guess he buys stores lockers or whatever. There's a lot of folks like that out here who have weekend sales and do the same thing. Anyway, as I was coming up to his sale, I saw a guy huddled with some game systems in his arms and like scurrying away like a little rat who stole something. I came up to the guy and asked him, hey, what did you sell him? He said a Sega and a top loader. I assumed that it was an NES top loader, and I was feeling pretty upset about having missed that by a couple of minutes. But when I got up to his table, I saw that he still had a few game related items left. So I'm gonna assume that when he said top loader, he meant Super Nintendo. He had no NES games, but he did have a copy of The Empire Strikes Back for the Super Nintendo, and I guess the other guy missed it. Also boxed copies of Jungle Strike and PGA Golf Tour, and these were both pretty nasty, pretty muddy and gross, and I mean they're complete, but the instruction manuals are pretty much torn up and beat to hell. I guess these were former rentals at one time. This one's okay actually, but I mean it's PGA Golf, so. And then one thing that I was actually really happy to see, because I don't have one, he had an NES Mini, and I believe it was just the console only. And one thing I forgot to put in this box of stuff that I bought last week was a sensor bar, which I found at a separate sale. But there was this, and I don't know if it works yet, I haven't tested it. Copy of Rock Band, that's where that goes. And then a Wii Fit board or fitness board, balance board, whatever the hell this thing's called. I don't have one of these. I've never had one of these. I've always shied away from these because I have absolutely no idea how they work. I guess there's a built-in sensor and batteries on the bottom. I don't know. I'll probably never use it, which is why I've never bought one. But I got all that stuff for $28, which fairly decent deal. This Wii Mini is actually pretty neat. I've never actually seen one of these up close. I didn't even know that they had a door that opens up instead of a tray that you slide the disc into. A few other things I found on Saturday. I got a copy of Donkey Konga for the GameCube and a boxed Donkey Konga set of bongos. The box is pretty beat. I mean, there's some damage down here at the bottom, and somewhere in here there's a big slash. Right there. So you can actually stick your fingers in there. I don't know why I bought this. I'll probably never use it. I hate rhythm games. I might just send it to my daughter if she is into this kind of thing. I don't really know. But what, 18 bucks for that? So not great, not terrible. So at a later sale, I got a silver Game Boy Pocket. This does work. I've confirmed that, and it came with Marble Madness R-Type DX, which is pretty beat to hell, but I'm going to be keeping this one for sure. Found one of these a few weeks ago in much better condition than this one. So I'll probably be trying to recoup my money off of this, and I swore there was a copy of Tetris in here somewhere, but I don't know what I did with it. So the last thing that I found last Saturday was something I never thought I'd see out in the wild. The guy that I bought that GameCube from for $20, either last video or 2 weeks ago, where I mentioned that I thought I was paying a little bit too much, but I did it specifically so the guy would keep me in mind when he gets stuff in. Well, he let me know that he had a Sega, and I kind of assumed that meant either a Model 2 Genesis or a Game Gear, neither of which I'm too excited about. But you know, you always gotta look. So when I went to go see him and he brought out a Sega CD-X, which is very, very cool to see out there. I don't even know what to say about that. I mean, that was the most exciting thing that I found in quite a while. He wanted 40 bucks for it. I gladly paid the 40 bucks. No cords, no power adapters, no controllers, no games. It does work, however. I actually have one of these already, and I bought it off of eBay about 2 years ago for like 80 or 90 bucks, and I knew that there was a power issue with it. I repaired it. I've been using that since. So, being that this one has not had any issues in the past, I'll probably swap this out for the one that I have in my collection and sell that one off. And then throughout the week, just a little random stuff. I got a copy of Super Mario 64 off a guy off Craigslist, and a day later I got a copy of Super Mario All-Stars for the Wii. And this one, it is complete. It's got the manual disc, Nintendo points, don't matter anymore. And then it's got the bonus disc, the soundtrack and history and all that, and this is still sealed. So I already have this in my collection. I don't believe this one is in better condition than the one I have. They're both kind of, the boxes on both of them are pretty beat up, and the soundtracks on both of them are still sealed. So I will be holding on to this one to sell, trade, whatever. I might bring, I'm actually going to Retropalooza Houston, and I might bring that with me in a box of trade stuff. So that's it for the weekend. Not a whole lot. A lot to some people, I guess not to me, being that I have a problem. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Keeping this one super short. See y'all next week.